products made in China that are shipped to the US and sold for a lesser cost than what those items would normally fetch because they are knockoffs of the original. Now, we know this happens with shoes. Oh, you know what? Before I go any further, let me make sure I make it very clear. My views, my opinions, and my thoughts on this, and that goes for any of our content, does not necessarily reflect those of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Now, may I continue? Thank you so much. All right, here we go. So, in this article, and I'm going to post clips of it so y'all can see what I'm talking about, it was said that it's gotten to a point where the fakes are so identical to the so-called real that it's almost impossible for experts to tell them apart. And then other folks went to the ultimate reason for that, and that because, and people have been saying this all my life, it's nothing new, or most of my life. I can remember people saying this in the mid to late 80s, and definitely all throughout the 90s. But basically, when you acquire an item and you're tripping off of the quality, if it's not some brand that's considered the best of the best of the best, something really expensive or whatever, it doesn't matter, people, because it was all made in the same factory. Shoes, shirts, everything. The source materials, the nylon, the polyester, the rayon, the cotton, okay? Everything that goes into most of the stuff most all of us wear, okay? The plastics. All of those things are made in the same plants. They may have different levels to them in some cases, or you might have more of one thing in one product versus another, thus the quality. Like when you talk about thread count on sheets, for example. Ladies always know this. I had to learn this, fellas. Let's get up with it. You know, we don't know these things. I laugh because I know most fellas don't learn that stuff until we're in a relationship with a lady and she starts teaching us all this stuff about, yeah, check the thread count on them bed sheets and stuff. You know, thread count, you know, and then you see the difference when you lay on something with a higher thread count or whatever, right? So all of that does matter. All that is part of the equation. There you go with real value. But the reality is, not everything that gets the price tag of what should be real value is on that level. But just because it's got certain names on it, everybody thinks, oh, it's automatically the best. Not necessarily, all right? All it ever comes down to with any of this is real feel, real durability. You touch a garment, you touch some clothes, you wear them. You know what I'm saying? If you're not just collecting and putting it in a closet somewhere, I'm saying you actually wear some things, that's gonna tell you about whether or not it's quality or not. That's gonna tell you about whether or not it has true durability. And once you realize that, you've got something that it might be worth the dollar it's asking for. Now, again, all of that's, you know, weighable based on the income of the society. How many people have the money to pay over $100 for a pair of tennis shoes every time they need a pair of tennis shoes? And they're not necessarily, most of the times they're just for style. They're not necessarily with any special insoles made for your feet. As we, you know, I'm in my 40s and I care about the sole of my shoe extremely. Always did, but the older I get, I'm more and more like, yo, if I don't put that thing on and it feel like a pillow, I don't care what it is. From a cowboy boot to a dress shoe to a Nike or Adidas, Fila, I don't care who you are. If you ain't making my foot feel good, thank you, Puma. We need Puma to be a sponsor of ONYXCON, because I would rep y'all for real. I would proudly rep y'all because they're comfortable. So then it gets down to the real nitty gritty. How long is this item gonna last for what I need it to do? If it's just for a night on the red carpet, looking fly with my friends when we're on vacation, and then that's it, I might not even ever wear these again, and I can afford to do that. Still have some food in the groceries, still have some food in the refrigerator, and not be worried about my credit card, making sure my payments on time. Yo, if you're living right and you can do it, do it. I'm the first person to tell you, enjoy your life, because that's what time it is. You only get this go round once, so do it to the fullest. So, you know, you're gonna buy things from time to time that don't meet those qualifications, that are subpar. And if you're smart enough to realize it and take note, not to fall for the same games again, you're gonna notice that some of the so-called big names are on that bad list. Because the reality is, they're all coming out of the same place most of the time, or same places. Number one manufacturers in the world are the same, generally all over the world. Something I realized firsthand in my visits, because I love to travel, and that's why I tell people, one of the many, there's so much about travel that makes it the way to live. But when you're in Malaysia and you see shoes from America, used shoes, just like here, we have used shoe shops that are selling these shoes at different prices for the popular ones. I saw street markets like that. Sure enough, some of the stuff was knockoff. Some of it was supposed to be the name brand. They're all out there together under the same roof being sold, or outside market, you know? Now, Mexico, same story. I even went in a store that was so cold in Mexico. I swear, I wish I had taken the name of it, but I couldn't get it on film because I started getting stalked by the management of the store telling me, no, you can't have your camera on. You can't have your camera. I'm sorry, no cameras. And I thought to myself, why are you tripping about? I said, because they got a bunch of knockoffs in here. It was supposed to be a true store for urban streetwear, and it was right in the heart of 5th Street, which is the tourist zone, okay? And I was warned by a local native of Playa del Carmen when I was there. Shout out to my homie, see the videos, you know what I'm saying? He told me, he said, man, Jordan will be carrying something else other than a ball on the side of the shoe, all kind of stuff. You gotta be careful up in them places, and they all overpriced for tourists. They're trying to get Americans, and you may as well be paying the same price you're gonna pay back home. It may or may not even be a discount, because they just literally charging you in pesos what it is in America. Crazy. And so I'm looking at the quality of the stuff. It was all generally looking real deal. Like, I mean, I don't have the eye to discern what was quote unquote fake or not. But the real thing, now here's the thing with me. I'm not gonna, if I can help it, I'm not gonna buy a quote unquote fake shoe, because shoes are my feet. That's my foundation. And I know walking on a bad shoe will jack you up. It can give you life problems. So I don't even want to play that game. And when it comes to certain pants, certain shorts, keyword certain, all right, I don't want no subpar underwear, you know what I mean? Too close for comfort. But a shirt, a jersey, stuff like that, hey, if it's quality, and if I can see that it was made with the same level of attention as the quote unquote lesser item, I don't trip off of that sometimes. It just depends on what it is. I have a jersey that I got one time at Goodwill. It was brand new with the tag on it. But I knew it was a no-name brand. It literally said like 2-letter something sports, right? I'm like, this ain't official. I know this ain't nothing sanctioned by the different football leagues, right? But I didn't care. I just wanted a cool looking shirt that said Brazil, because I got an affinity for the country and I want to go there one day. And I met people from there, and they got some of the most beautiful women in the world. And it's one of the largest diasporas outside of the continent of Africa that I feel kinship to. So yeah, I was like, I'm rocking Brazil. I don't care. I don't care. It's dope. And I've gotten so many compliments on that thing. Matter of fact, I've been places in Atlanta where real Brazilians came up to me and said, hey, are you from Brazil? Obrigado. And they're like speaking in Portuguese, and I'm like, no, I don't know any Portuguese other than a couple of words, but thank you, man. And they're like, slapped me on the chest for the jersey, said, man, that's the real deal there, man. Because it's like embroidered with the crest of the football league. But I'm looking at him like, bro, you know this ain't real, right? But hell, I'll take the compliment. It's cool. You know, you ain't taking no spinach out my can to get love. I was like, yeah, I appreciate you, man. You know, and kept it moving. But it was like, that's what I'm getting at. Half the time when folks go out here and get all this stuff anyway, that's all y'all looking for is that validation. If that had never happened, I wouldn't have cared. I had already worn that thing 5, 6, 7, I can't remember how many times on special occasions, purposefully, like, this is a fit. This is officially something I want to put on the day as a fashion statement and feel good in. And that's all it needed to be for me, right? So I'm quick to say a lot of things out here that we're paying exorbitant cost for. You know, I'm not gonna say I champion the falsities, because as a creative, as an artist myself, the worst thing that can be done is plagiarism of your original art. No one wants that. But let's take it into context. There's a strong difference as the fashion industry has evolved in what we see on a runway that is for a special elite group of people at the wealthiest hierarchies of the world, viewing and deciding on what they think is hot and what they're going to be wearing for this year, next year, the next few years, whatever, right? And then they set the trends and they set the prices. After that, the knockoff folks get wind of it because when they send it to be made in mass beyond the couture world and all of those elements, in the bespoke world, once it gets past that, once it just gets into, we're gonna make something for the masses, hey, they got the blueprints and they share them. And this is one of the many other reasons why China has become the powerhouse it has. It's very smart. I don't see anything about it that doesn't make sense. So when a country that was known for its sweat labor shops and everything, and still is, has become one of the world's powerhouses economically, for many reasons, technology and all types of things, it doesn't surprise me when it comes to the fashion part of it all. And it all made sense when you start seeing garments that are literally the same quality. If not, here's the real kicker, and I saw this in some articles, said nowadays, this was the old article, the same article, nowadays, some of the knockoffs are better quality than the so-called original. I said, I'll be dang. Because they're in the shop making the stuff, and if they're given specifications that a seamstress or whoever knows, well, this is not as good a quality. I mean, people deserve better. I would make this better and we could sell even more. Okay, then that mentality gets passed down the line to all of the folks who do make the decision to take them blueprints and make all of the knockoffs that in some cases are just as good, if not better.
Who is making this stuff? Who's allowing this to happen?
As far as fakes go, they're pretty good. I mean, I'd buy them.
Don't be such a cretin.
Don't call me a cretin, sweetie.
That's not what I said. I asked you not to be one. This is serious. And you're laughing it off.
At least it's my name on the mugs, not yours.
Our name, sweetie, on junk.
I say this, look, because they're too damn expensive. And I don't see the personal logic in spending over 100, sometimes 200 on average for start on a pair of shoes when, hell, you ain't gonna just like one. You're gonna want about 3 or so pairs. That's $600. That's a trip to Mexico. That is literally just that's a little bit more than what you can get a trip to Cancun from Atlanta for 500 and some change. I did it. Why would I put that on just some shoes, not to have an experience? Yo, I'll get some shoes. I'll be fresh. I know how to dress, but I'm not about to waste all my money on certain items, even if I start collecting, and I'm getting into a part of that now. So let me get on that. So I see trends happening with 90s wear coming back in terms of the baggy style, and I love it because I was sick and tired of seeing skinny jeans on people that they don't fit. They're for the skinny people. And I was tired of seeing big old folk, especially older people, with their pants hanging off their ass. The end of sagging, I hope, is completely near. It ain't over yet. I was just watching Soulja Boy on an interview with Cool Kicks, and I was like, look at this, bro. Come on, man. When you gonna pull them up? Damn. But anyway, I digress. Y'all do you, and I'm gonna do me. That's why I say for the cultures, because everything y'all do ain't what I do. But I'm hip-hop. Please believe it. And can't nobody tell me nothing less. Born in the 70s like me, I lived it. Anyway, so check it. My point is this. With the baggy coming back, everything that's already naturally baggy is coming back. Hockey jerseys are coming back. And I love it because I love hockey jerseys. I always dug hockey jerseys. I always started trying to collect them. I say started in the sense of, for me, it doesn't really feel like a full collection until you got at least 5 of something or 10. Then you look at it and you're like, yeah, this started to become a collection. So I was a collector, but I never could, again, afford enough of these things that I love. Because what? Hockey jerseys average 150. Especially if you're talking about the ones they wear on the ice. Now you're in the 200s and up. And don't let it be a vintage, some special edition, some one game variant or what, man, it gets so crazy. And there's some dope stuff out there, y'all. So I even been looking back into it recently, and I came across something from the great land of the red flag. China is at it again. When I tell you, they have some places that can make jerseys that look like the real deal, to the point where who gonna say it ain't? And if you say it ain't, so what? It came out the same factory. It's too obvious. It's like literally, from what I can understand, these garments, everybody who I've ever seen do a review of them says that, yeah, there is a little loose stitching, but nothing you can't just clip off with some scissors and keep it pushing. Other than that, they're like brand new, high quality, original, the real deal.
Screen printed, it's its own separate fabric, so it's not like it's gonna come off like it's stitched and stuff. But just this, I like the stitched, like not authentic, but it feels more authentic. Like if I told you just by looking at the front, which one is real, which one is fake, you might say that this is real because it looks more like what they wear on the ice.
For affordable cost, and I do mean affordable, it's really the cost, like I say, wholesale. And you're thinking to yourself, if this is wholesale in the US dollar for under 50 bucks on average, yes, I said that, go back, rewind. Okay, what do you think the American manufacturer is making every time they sell you a hockey jersey at this is the real price? It's the same real jersey. Now, somebody said, yeah, but they don't do the same quality. Some of them be, the emblem will be a little bit an inch lower, or this, that, and the other. So here we go again, quote unquote irregularities. I'm somebody who doesn't mind wearing quote unquote irregularities. Just about every pair of jeans I've bought in the last few years have been from stores that I know sell irregular. They mark it on the tag, it's irregular. I look for the imperfections, it'd be the most ridiculous stuff. It'd be something like a little stretched fabric in the middle of the jean that makes it look distressed. And then some of y'all go and pay somebody to rip your jeans. Sorry, I've never been one for that. I've never purchased a pair of jeans that were pre-ripped. If they start unraveling, that's my work. And I take pride in that. That means I did things in this. I remember when they started, I was stepping on them and the edges of them started to fray, and it looked so cool and it looked fuzzy, and I got that rip on the leg that it frayed as I washed it, and it looks like soft cotton or flour or something. I mean, yeah, that's my work. You know what I mean? So I'm saying I bought jeans that had slight distress to the point you could barely even see it anyway. Or if there were a little bit of imperfection, like somebody's on the line, they tired, they had a coffee that morning, so they did the stitch a little bit off from how straight it should be or something like that. Stuff that you really would have to be an artist like me to even notice. Because when I wear these jeans, I get compliments all the time. You understand what I'm getting at, y'all? Do you live life, save a buck? So these companies are creating financial deficits for people who have retail addiction. And it is a real thing, Thank goodness I don't have it, but I know how it can develop. And I'm leery of it all the time as I venture back into being a collector of items. Because when I was younger, like most of us, that's when we get that craving. Going through our high school years, you want to be noticed by the girls, fellas. Ladies, you want to be noticed by your peers and the fellas, whatever the case may be. And, people started doing the most. Now, I never cared that much. I always like what I like. And I don't care if you like what I like. You know what I'm saying? It's a good feeling. That's the side of life to be on, y'all. Do something that makes you feel good. Wear what makes you feel good. And keep it affordable and realistic. And that's why these companies got to wake up and realize, look, you're creating your own monsters. The only way people do successful business is they see a problem and they come up with a solution. The companies in China are coming up with solutions. And all over the world, they're coming up with solutions. It helps their local economy and it helps consumers to get what they want at an affordable price. So big up to everybody who's doing it and doing it right. And like I say, I don't get into right and wrong. I just deal with function and dysfunction. That's the law of the universe as far as I'm concerned. And whoever's got the right price, that's functional.